is Luna Siciliano, and you're watching Destroy Everything. And then I'm going to pick up an empty barbell. Destroy everything! Destroy! Destroy! My name is Luna Siciliano. I'm the head developer at Production Club, working on all of our websites. Everyone thinks I can fight because I'm strong. They're like, oh, I don't want to get beat up by you. I don't know how to fight. I'm just kidding. On my off time, I do a bunch of other stuff. Right now I'm playing Final Fantasy 16. It's really good. I just went to orchestra this past weekend. I cried like 3 times. Knew about Distant Worlds when I was in high school, which is when they started. And I just had like stacks of Final Fantasy sheet music, and I would just like play it over and over again and memorize it. So to see some of those pieces performed live was very emotional. It means a lot to me. I started to learn how to play the drums initially. I thought drums were a lot more badass, but just didn't want to carry a drum to school every day. I switched to flute. I thought the flute was like too feminine for me. Marching band, jazz band, orchestra, like all about it. I wanted to go to Juilliard and be like a professional flautist. Drawing was my first hobby. When I was little, I would take paper towel and hold them up to the television and trace what I saw underneath. And I was really obsessed with Little Shop of Horrors. I was really obsessed with drawing the carnivorous plant Audrey 2. She like ate people. This is like this evil plant, and I was like, that's so fucking cool. I want to be an evil plant when I grow up. I'm the evil plant, I am Audrey 2. And I could either major in visual art or orchestra. And I was like, I have to pick one. There isn't any money in playing the flute, which is a lie. So I ended up majoring in visual art, but I didn't want to at all. The only way I could think to make money from art is to be a tattoo artist. And the first time I saw a tattoo, like my babysitter had one. This is a 4-leaf clover. I thought it was like the coolest shit I've ever seen. And I was like, I want a bunch of tattoos. And I remember like begging my parents to just like take me to get a tattoo. And I was like 7. Saved up a bunch of money, started getting tattoos on my 18th birthday. Went to an art college, didn't enjoy that. So I ended up dropping out, and I worked as a tattoo apprentice back when apprenticeships were very abusive. How I was able to get so many tattoos. My tattoos are free, but because they were free, they're not very big. It was what people could do at the time in one sitting. I hate them a lot. I was against getting tattoos that had meaning to me because your feelings about things will change over time, but good art is always good art. These are all tattoos I've done myself when I was learning, so they're not good. I'm really tired of people trying to read my legs. This was done by the guy that I ended up working under. Same with this guy. This is my first tattoo I've ever gotten. When I turned 18, I drew this. This is the one tattoo I am sad to see go. It needs to be black. I got it because my dad had owned and trained racehorses and then left when I was 14. Oh, when I was like, I'm gonna get a dead horse to commemorate my shitty dad. We're gonna go all here and then all the way down. This one, these go together. This is lyrics from Rilo Kiley, Science vs. Romance. I love Rilo Kiley. Oh yeah, and this stupid fucking rat. Because I'm a piece of shit. I have this stupid raccoon. Why'd I do that? But I'm not just getting tattooed. I'm getting fucking blacked out with like a 25 mag or something. I've had these tattoos for like most of my life. But I think it'll be nice too, because then when it's all one color, you'll be able to see muscle tone easier. One thing people should know about me is, I guess, I became diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 2018. You'll get white blood cells in your brain and your spinal cord, and it'll eat away at the nerve coverings. It's called myelin. So anytime there's like a nerve impulse to your brain from your body, which allows you to do everything, the immune system will strip that covering off. So that connection is lost and it makes permanent scars in your brain. The goal is to not have that happen as much as you can. Your immune system gets shitty anyway when you're like 50 or 60 or whatever. So really, I'm just like trying to hold out until then. Definitely like when I'm sick, I feel it in my MS as well. It's not just like a cold. It's like I have a cold and like parts of my body will go numb, which is big. My hands are numb now forever. It's a lot more difficult for me to do things than people who are not disabled. It's very scary and anyone can get it. I grew up sick, like I was born with kidney cancer. So my first year of life, I was on chemotherapy, and I thought, oh, I beat cancer as a baby. I'm never gonna fucking die ever, like invincible. So I spent my 20s just like smoking cigarettes and like drinking and partying and whatever. I was like getting my shit together and like I stopped partying, I stopped smoking, and I was like, I'm gonna get like healthy. And then I got MS, and I was like, I just like can't win. When I got diagnosed, I just graduated college and I thought I was going to work in cancer research. I got my degree in biomedical science and work in a research lab and be prestigious, I guess. I wanted people to think I was smart. And at the same time, I got really into lifting. Then I got diagnosed. I went to the emergency room because I thought I'd injured myself squatting and I thought I'd compressed my spine on a nerve or something. And I thought I had MS before, and I went to the doctors about it, and they just told me I had depression and anxiety. We're going to give you an MRI to see what's going on. And I was like, it's nothing. Like, I just pinched my spine doing squats, went and got an MRI anyway, found like a bunch of lesions in your brain. Stayed in the hospital for 3 days. They wanted me to sign a power of attorney. Given the scenario that you can't talk anymore, you can't intake food, who do you want to take care of you? If you go on life support, at what point should we pull the cord? And I'm like, oh my God, like I just got like, this is too much. Like I can't, process. Like I was just a head floating. I couldn't feel my feet like hit the ground. I also felt like my entire body was like squeezing itself really hard. It's called the MS hug. It's not a hug. Eventually, I get out of the hospital and I immediately just like continue to lift. We were like hanging out with people after. Was just like sitting in this like depression bubble that no one could penetrate. Everyone felt so far away and I couldn't like communicate, and I didn't want to like talk about it, but I also wanted people to ask me about it to make it real or something. And my friend was like, oh, I know exactly how you feel. I just got diagnosed with IBS. And I was like, I've had IBS since I was like 5. Like, sometimes you have diarrhea. It's fine. I had to like reevaluate what I thought was important. Spending time doing things that you really enjoy doing instead of trying to prove something to some audience or something. After I got diagnosed, I ended up working in cancer research for 8 months. It was a mutual decision that I should leave. It was not a good fit. And I studied to become a personal trainer for Olympic weightlifting and powerlifting. So I did that, and I immediately just like continue to lift. I'm doing deadlifts, but I like can't feel the bar that I'm gripping, so I have to just like think and like send brain messages to my hands to grip the bar really hard, even though I cannot feel me gripping the bar at all. Like I hope like I don't drop it, but like started making enough money to train full time. Got set up, had a gym, it was teaching clients, and then the pandemic started. Because I was so new to the industry, it didn't make sense for me to try. It was like, I'm just gonna cut ties, refunded people their money. I had to do like at home workout stuff and not enjoy it. So I just started obsessively drawing on my iPad because I didn't want to think about anything at all. And I ended up taking commissions for the first time in a long time. And I was able to support myself on my art. I also got a dog too, so I need a job that I can stay at home, a job that allows me to be creative, and a job that allows me to live a life outside of my work. That's kind of how I fell into software development. And I ended up getting a full ride at a coding boot camp because I was poor and disabled and a woman. So they felt bad for me. And then Production Club was the first place that interviewed me, and I just knew that if I wasn't going to be at Production Club, there was nowhere else I could be, period. And I went through, I think it was like 5 interviews. It was really intense, and there were people who were better suited for the job than me and had more experience. And here I am now, almost 2 years later, very happy. I think it's important for people to manage their stress, which is what I didn't do for a long time, and I think maybe contributed to multiple sclerosis. It doesn't get better, it doesn't go away. I'm on medication for it forever. So I'm immunocompromised. I get tired really easily, and it doesn't mean that you can't do things. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult, and people just need a little bit more patience, I think. Also, you should just pretend that everyone has MS and or autism or ADHD or whatever, and just be a little bit more compassionate with people and their needs. Okay, we're done.
Yay! Okay, thanks.
Destroy everything in the gym.